Trying to find a way to relate to society. Trying to find a way to relate powerfully to relationships. Trying to find a way of being in a family. Trying to find a way of being powerful. And that's a really beat theme, and I think we're living in a very beat time. Alexander Trocchi is such a modern writer, and his position as an outsider is such a modern position, and it's probably about time that we had another look at him.
Certainly until recently, he wasn't really even sort of recognised in Scotland because he'd sort of gone away and been a beat writer and all that.
I've never come across Trocchi or the novel, but have since realised that this guy was a sort of extraordinary figure.
He couldn't get Young Adam published, and a publisher in Paris said, I'll publish it if you put a sex scene every 6 pages, which he did. He kind of desecrated his own work to get it published, and then took most pornography out of it, and not all of it though, and republished it.
But what makes the book work, or what's intriguing about the book, is it's unashamed. I'm the intelligentsia and you better listen to me.
Don't you understand? I'm trying to do something new.
No, I don't understand. Why can't you write an ordinary book?
It lends itself to the cinema, I think, beautifully.
Myself and Joe here, we picked a stiff out of the river this morning.
Now and again, you read a really amazing script, and it was very clear there's quite an amazing part to play. And then I met David, the director, down in London, and I got on very well with him, so here we are.
Ewan gave me a phone and said that he'd talked to David about the script, Young Adam, and had I ever heard of Alexander Trocchi. And he said, well, I'll get you a script, and he sent me a script. And I really liked it, and I especially liked the idea of doing some stuff with Ewan.
I got involved because it's a mighty fine adaptation. It's very faithful, and the spirit is very true, and that's a hard thing with this novel.
It came up to me and said, there's this film and I want to send you the script, and can you do a Scottish accent? And I lied, as usual, and said yes.
What have you done today while I was earning the money for us to eat?
I made some custard.
You did what?
I made some custard.
They're all very different actors, very different types of actors, and I think they've each brought some of their own little magic to the film. It's just really kind of brought it to life.
My character, Joe's, he's very much an outside. He lives outside of kind of society's moral code, you know?
He's an intellectual, he's a writer.
He's someone who's purposely looking for experience that will make him feel something.
And he comes upon this couple living in a barge, Ella and Les, and their son, and he starts to work alongside them. Thought you'd find something better to do with your time.
I can think of 1 or 2 things, but not in front of the kid.
There's tons of sex for Ewan.
He's having an affair with Les's wife.
Les, I've got a bit of a headache. I'm going to head back to the barge.
No sex for me, because I'm impotent.
Doesn't matter, Les, it's just the drink.
He doesn't feel a great deal of guilt or shame or anything. So he's kind of uncluttered in that respect.
Well, Kathy is a Glaswegian lass, and she meets Joe,
Would you like to go for a walk with me, Kathy?
and she falls madly in love with him, and they become a sort of beat couple.
I'm pregnant.
And that's where things start to go wrong.
Well, I particularly like working with first-time filmmakers, I have to say. There's a beginner's mind, and there's an absolute unjadedness and a passion in the ether, which is really intoxicating.
Well, I think David's very much of the kind of European tradition, whereby he knows his cinema and he's very visual.
He's probably one of the most passionate directors I've ever worked with. He's wanted to make this film for a very long time, and it shows.
He's incredibly receptive to change and to different ideas.
He'll go very, very far, David.
The whole sort of canal atmosphere of it was one of the things that really drew me to the book, particularly as a child. I kind of did a couple of those canal holidays and things like that. And there's an incident in the film where Jim gets pulled overboard because a bucket catches in the water, and that was something that happened to me.
Jim's overboard!
The boat's been quite challenging because it's an unknown quantity. We built the boat ourselves because We wanted to have something that we could control a bit more, and there had been all sorts of kind of small teething problems with the boat. Maybe it's don't work with children, animals, and boats. You know.
It does have that tightrope feeling, which is a wonderful thing. You know, we're not doing anything particularly safe.
We're trying to make a very stylish, classy-looking film in 7 weeks, which I think is very exciting. You know, people are going through quite a tough time to get this work done, and I think that's really good.
This is night and day from Hollywood. This is much more vibrant and intelligent and colourful and honest and intensely more enjoyable.
Shallow Grave and Trainspotting, we never went out of our way to try and make them accessible to the States. So we made British films for Britain, and we're certainly doing that on this.
It's really hard when you say to people, what are you doing? You say, young Adam, and they say, is Ewan McGregor playing Adam? You say, no, he's playing Joe. Oh, so you're playing Adam? No, I play Les. All right, so who's playing Adam? Well, actually, nobody's playing Adam. I read it as Adam before Eve, man at his most lonely. That was my take on it, and it's probably complete bollocks.
Lost innocence.
Original sin and the sort of fall from the Garden of Eden.
I mean, there's this boy in there who's constantly eating apples.
I've got a feeling probably it's just Trocky being smart, and he was just doing it so that people would go, why is it called Young Adam? But the actor who plays Jim, Little Jack, we were discussing it one day, and he went, well, it's Kathy's baby.
Jesus, this is young Jim.
Young Adam could be Kathy's unborn baby, you know.
10-year-old Jim.
Well, that was his take on it, which was incredible, coming out of the mouth of a child.
Very clever idea. Could well be.
They're very smart kids, you know. They usually see straight through to the point.
Say hello to Joe.
All right?
Bastard.
The whole thing is risky, which is what's exciting about it.
It's very hard, it's very dark, and it's very erotic.
World's first sexy Scottish film. Because we don't get sexy films. We get social realism, we get social melodrama, we get poetic realism. We don't get musicals, we don't get sex.
I mean, just put a pin in any of the scenes and they're all quite kind of out there.
I hope the audience will walk away thinking a lot about what's gone on over the last kind of hour and a half, being left with some of the questions that Joe himself has to keep asking himself.
Moulin Barge. You know, without the music, without Nicole, and without the laughs. Moulin Barge.
I've got a right good fucking feeling about it.
I was thinking I might go along to it. Just to see what it's like, you know?